Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meet the Vets, brought to you by the Veterans Network. It's the podcast show here featuring veterans from across NBCUniversal, and we learn how their military experience has helped them succeed here in their careers. I'm your host, Alexis Rodriguez, and in today's episode, we're speaking with fellow Army veteran and senior colorist for Telemundo, Rafael Perez. How you doing, Rafael? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing excellent. How's your week been so far?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Working hard? A lot of projects?
Not working hard, but working
let
smart.
your boss hear that.
Working smart. Working smart.
Great. So how long have you been with the company, Rafael?
10 years. I
Wow,
just
10
turned
years.
10 years. Yeah.
That's amazing.
In May.
How's been the ride?
It's been a good ride.
Yeah?
I never pictured myself working for corporate America.
Really?
And this is pretty big corporate America.
Yeah, I that's the same thing I said myself. I never want to be in a desk job, something like that, sitting in an office, and I want to be out in the field, getting sweaty, working hard, something like that. And well, here we are.
I'm okay being on a desk.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
That's my job.
That's great. So senior colorist, tell us a little bit about that. What does your job entail?
We, Colorist here, I'm one of three, and we work on all the scripted shows, the prime time, all the, what they used to be novelas, series, super series, contemporary drama. I'm trying to cover all the names.
Okay. So as a colorist, what is it that you're doing working on those shows?
Just what it sounds like.
Doing color.
you get a film that comes log.
Okay.
And then you convert it to viewable images and you color it. You give it a look, you give it,
So that's entailing like photoshopping it or more
DaVinci.
like a video editor, DaVinci?
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay. And that's like
it's a color program.
Color program solely for color, or that's like video editing software as well?
It's editing. It's funny because they offer it for free. So that's how you can start. It has editing, sound, color, but it originally was for color only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes back to the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, but software less.
Software.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Raf. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
I'm a local yokel.
From Miami?
I'm
Homegrown?
from Miami.
Nice. Okay.
Baptist Hospital. My parents are Cuban. I'm one of three. I'm the youngest, so era mimado,
Okay.
I grew up here and I went to the Army. I mean, that was my first trip on a plane, was going to basic training.
Wow, that's amazing. So homegrown here. You grew up where? In Kendall? In which neighborhood?
I grew up in Sweetwater.
Okay,
right?
so
I
right
grew
around
up
the
in
corner.
Sweetwater, and then we moved to Kendall. When Kendall on 56th Street, it was a dump site.
Yeah,
it was
expanded a lot.
Yeah, it was garbage. We lived right across the street from a garbage dump. No, really.
Wow.
And they made those into apartments, and then they made Miller Square, and then they started growing por ahí para allá.
Expanded to the west completely.
So yeah, I'm an original. I'm an original from that time, or I'm old. One of the two.
Well, you look great for being of that.
Why? Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing, right?
That's the makeup they just did backstage.
Oh yeah, your first time, right? That was your first time with makeup.
Yes. I won't say what I said back there.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So what made you join the military, Rafael, and why did you choose the Army?
I'm gonna tell you the honest truth, right?
Okay.
God uses all of it. But the honest truth was I was in high school, not a studious person, as you know. I was a B student. It wasn't like I was a bad student, but a recruiter came and said, hey, who wants to miss class, right? I was like, hey, that's me.
Ooh,
yeah. And I had no intention of joining, but in thinking about it, as he was talking, and again, they're paid to recruit you. So, they're like salesmen in the work. So he convinced me. And then, my father had gone to Bay of Pigs. My parents are Cuban. So he had gone to Bay of Pigs to battle for freedom. He went to jail. So he had that. And he was also training to go back, at that age. So it was kind of like that was the inspiration. I was like, oh, this is good. And the GI Bill. All of it.
So what year did you start in, or what year did you sign up?
Well, I signed up in 85. And then I was 17, so they had to wait till I was 18 to sign. So basically,
there you are on the screen.
Oh boy. 86, I signed up and shipped out to Fort Knox.
Wow, I wasn't even born yet. Look at that. Yeah, look at that amazing photo. Look at that when you signed up.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Brings back some memories there, huh?
Well, as I like to say, I was half the man I am today.
Absolutely.
Weight-wise.
Oh. Wow. Look at your troop there.
Yeah, that was my
amazing.
troop. Yeah, it was a lot of things going on there.
Okay. So what was your MOS? What did you sign up for as your job?
So I didn't even really know. I just wanted computers, right?
Okay.
So just to give you a little, now computers is all these kids know computers. Yeah. But back then in high school, I had the first programming class of my school, Sunset Senior High.
Wow.
It was the first class, and I took it, and I said, "Oh, programming, I liked it." So I signed up.
What was it on? What was the platform? What was the computer you guys used?
IBM and Apple
IBM?
or Mac or whatever. Yeah, Macintosh. Exactly. I didn't use that one though. I used the IBM.
Okay.
So you were on DOS and you
DOS.
did.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to go into that. So my MOS was 75 Fox.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be like the system. You know how the Army is.
Like systems engineer or something.
If you can say things in 2 words, why? When you can use 55 and
Make
confuse you.
Sound complicated and fancy.
So I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be computer. To sum it up, it was basically I was working with personnel people. So all the transactions that would come into a base, I would oversee these different personnel companies.
So you were kind of like an HR type of person?
No, it was because back then, again, things that you can do automatically now, they were not automatic.
Manual.
It was manual. So manually, you had to, and it's almost like coding.
Okay.
You had to know all the commands. That's what I went to AIT for. To put it in correctly.
Wow.
And then it would spit it out. And we only processed 2 times a week. But basically, that is immediate now. So imagine.
Right. Wow. So if you had an error or something like that, what was the turnaround for that?
You had to wait till the next. So it was usually 3 days.
3 days.
Unless it was over the weekend, which is funny because one of my first lessons that I went through was Sergeant First Class comes to me and he says, I need you to send this, whatever. And I look at it and, I'm like, I'm a private E2, right? And I look at it and I go, hey, Sarge, this is wrong. This is, and he goes, just do it because I'm telling you to do it. Do it. Process it.
Period.
So I said, but this is wrong. I'm thinking to myself, this is wrong. I processed it. I went, When it came back wrong, when it came back wrong, I went back to him. Big mistake. Went back to him and I said,
hey, Sarge, I told you
it was wrong. And he says, if you knew it was wrong,
why'd you do it?
Why did you do it?
Wow.
And I thought, as I'm thinking back on my Army days, that gave me a lot of perspective, Right. Don't make your boss look bad. Don't make them look bad. And don't make yourself look bad at the same time.
Right.
Just to prove a point, right? But I was a rebellious guy. That's why I went into the Army. Discipline.
Yeah, and that doesn't work definitely in the military. It's very like, buy the books and everything like that.
Exactly.
Wow. So how long did you serve for? For 3 years it was?
3 years. 3 years, yeah.
And it was all in the same posts?
I went to Fort Knox, and then I had school in Fort Bend Harrison, and in Fort Bend, they closed it down in the 90s. It was like the financial center. Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
Yeah, they closed the base down, and then they sent me to Fort Sam Houston, which, funny story, I'm in my AIT, and we're like, I was in the shower. You have different stalls or whatever, and I'm taking a shower, and a guy's screaming. I go, hey, you all right? And he goes, yeah, I got my orders for Alaska.
Oh, wow.
And I said, holy crap, they can send you to Alaska.
We have a base over there? Oh, wow. Yeah, he's going to keep getting cold.
And he was so excited. I was like, oh, my God, please, no, not Alaska.
Well, I guess it's something different, right?
Oh, no. But they sent me to Texas, thank God, because I was thinking, man, the weather in Indiana is freezing in September.
Yeah.
In September, it was freezing.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
I was in Kentucky in August, September into October.
Okay.
And it was freezing to me.
Wow.
Kentucky.
Well, you're a tropical person, right? You're a Miami boy.
I'm in the tropics. I mean, so imagine. So when they sent me to Texas, I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God.
So that kind of happened to me as well. So I went to basic in Georgia, in Fort Benning.
Oh, okay.
And I'm homegrown as well, Miami boy, grew up in Homestead. And when I went to Fort Benning, I went to the winter cycle for basic training, and it was like 20 degrees outside. And you do PT early in the morning, 5 in the morning, they get you up, 6 in the morning, and we're in our little army sweats outside, and we're all like little penguins freezing our butts off.
Oh, man.
But we can't say anything. We have to do it. We got to do it. And then when it would rain, oh my goodness, you have the freezing like ice puddles on the track where you run, and they make you do the sit-ups in the water. No. And I was not used to that at all. Some people, from up north, they're like, oh, this is nothing, whatever. But tropical guy.
I say no. I say those guys are tougher, right?
Oh yeah.
The first year I was in Texas, it snowed. Nice. December snowed, and I went, I've never seen snow in my life. And from there, a year later, they sent me to Puerto Rico. So I went to Fort Buchanan, came back to Fort Sam, and I left out of there.
Yeah, it was kind of so after I left basic, I was in Fort Bragg, right? So there you get all the seasons. I mean, you get the hot, the cold, the snow. So it was kind of nice, and it was different than Miami. Miami is flat. There's no pine trees. There's no forests. There's none of that. So it was like, wow, this is so cool. And like the air is different. And, the base, you have a military base there. So everybody there is military friendly around the base and stuff like that. So really cool. Wow, that's amazing. That's a cool experience. Did you get to travel, like deploy anywhere around the world or anything like that? You stayed in the States?
Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That was, the best apple I ever had was in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very...
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm basically like, what do they call that when you like to come back home? Mm-hmm. I missed home crazy. A homebody. Yeah. Provincial. I'm very provincial.
Okay.
Muy familiar.
Right. Well, yeah, that's our Hispanic side, right?
Yeah.
They want to be around the family and all that.
For sure. I missed like crazy. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Wow. So you going to the military and all that, how does all that training that you got, that experience that you had back then, how does it apply to you now that you're working in the corporate field with Telemundo NBC?
I basically, when I went into the Army, I was a, mimado, spoiled, whatever. I was the youngest of 3, and my parents were a little, further along in age. So I was not good. You know what I mean? So when I went into the Army, it was like very shocking. Like they have structure,
Right.
Things are expected, discipline, the whole thing.
Culture shock.
Yeah. Oh no, huge. I wanted to leave, and I remember, I don't remember what he said, but I remember seeing a chaplain and going, hey, I want to get out of here. Like, can you fix it up? So, and I remember him looking at me like,
can you sign these release papers?
Yeah. I was like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
And he was like, you're going to persevere. Like, you just need to get through it.
Absolutely.
And I thought, wow, man, like, in my case, I never went to war. Mine was, I served in peacetime. I mean, it was basically 3 years after I got out that we went to Desert Storm, the first one.
Okay.
And what I learned was gonna serve me in all my relationships. I've been divorced twice. So, there was a lot of perseverance that I had to go through. Right. And, father to a son, and then I have 4 more. So there's a lot of perseverance there.
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. The military teaches you to endure stressful situations under any, how do we call it? Adapt and survive type of stuff. So
yes.
Wow, absolutely. Wow.
And so I've used that perseverance because if you don't have a love for what you're doing in post-production, you don't last more than 2 weeks. It's been my experience. So
you have to have a lot of patience.
Well, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of right now, we need it yesterday, that whole thing.
You have a lot of deadlines and stuff you have to meet.
Oh my God. And here especially because in Telemundo you got air,
Airtime. Right?
So we start shooting El Señor de los Cielos coming now. You know, we start shooting, let's say, in September.
Okay.
By October or November, you have the first episode, but by January, you have to have it out on air.
Everything.
Everything.
The whole show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, not the whole show, but as you go, you know, editing and stuff like that. So it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
I bet.
But basically, perseverance and not, you know, adapting to your. I mean, I've been in this business for a long time.
Yep.
Exactly. So I think that has helped me a lot, especially, you know, I've pulled a couple of, not here, not in Telemundo, but 24-hour shifts.
Wow.
Like
Working on projects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can't leave. I mean, you know, these people are counting on you, right?
Right, to get it out. Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
And do you specifically work on just the scripted side or you bounce around depending on what the content is?
I've done some news things, but usually it's problems. Oh, we had
Problems.
a light. No, we had a light that it's too green or something.
Oh, okay.
So you correct the green and, you know, it's news or whatever.
Wow.
But stuff like that, yeah. Fuera de eso, pretty much scripted. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. I can't imagine the pressure that you have to face. You know, hey, we have these episodes and I need you to finish this today, tomorrow, that. And you have to correct it on time. If not, you can't drag, right? You can't be like, oh, no, I don't like it. Let me fix it a little bit. I don't know. You have to get it done and turn it in.
And be happy with it. You know,
and be happy with it, right?
You don't want to turn in something you're not happy with. And that's where the hours extend, because sometimes you find, again, I'm under pressure.
Right.
The production's under pressure. The post-production's under pressure. Everybody's rushing.
Right.
And when you rush, there are
Things
errors.
happen. There's errors, yeah.
That then you take care of in post. We'll fix it in post.
It becomes a chain reaction, right? If you don't deliver.
And we're the end of the chain. So it all falls on us to fix.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. I love what I do. I mean, really.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, 10 years, I could imagine.
And 20 before that.
In another company?
2 other companies in the same thing. Yeah.
Doing the same? Wow, that's amazing. Wow. So let's say, so you've done your 10 years here at Telemundo. You love what you do as a colorist. Where do you see yourself going, you know, in the next 5 to 10 years?
Retiring in 10 years.
Retiring. Yeah, that's
I
a good
see
answer.
myself. I don't
see
think I
yourself.
am, because
Yeah.
too many kids. So you may not retire.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I love what I do. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's you're in a very autonomous place, right? But yet everybody has opinions about what you do. I could make, you know, your jacket look a little blue, and they go, but that isn't blue, that's
It's
black.
a black jacket.
Right? But I can make it look at blue,
Right.
you know? So
Right.
people have opinions. Everybody has opinions. So
Yeah.
you have
Yeah,
to.
especially on your side, it's art, right? So everybody's
Right.
gonna have an opinion on art.
And the most subjective thing is color. You know how many shades of color?
Oh,
And you
I
know
can't even imagine.
how much that software, how deep, how wide, that you can never get to the end of it. So every day is something new. Every day you can learn something new every day for a whole year, and then in a year they change. They give an update and they do a whole bunch of stuff. So you got to learn all that new stuff, and it's this constant. Yeah.
Wow,
It's
that's
amazing.
Yeah, no, that sounds very, you know, exciting and fun. I mean, and like I always say, I mean, if you love what you do, you're not, you know, working. It's work, but it's fun, right?
Correct.
I mean, for me in security and doing, you know, veteran stuff, I love doing it. You know, so this isn't work for me. This is fun for me. I love coming to Telemundo every day. It's not like, gotta wake up and come do security, right? Because that's not how I feel. It's an amazing job. It's so much fun. And then we have guys like you that make it fun to work here, right? And then the whole crew here that helps us out. I mean, everybody here is a big family and fun to work with. So, wow, that's amazing, Raf. That's a cool story. All right, so let's do a little lightning round, okay? I want to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Oh boy.
All right.
Do I have to be rapid?
With your answers, maybe. I don't know.
You know I'm old, bro. I process a little slow.
No, we can't do none of your manual 3-day turnaround processing with these questions,
Right,
okay? All right, so first question. What's your favorite art style?
Art style?
Art style, yeah. Do you have one as a colorist, or do you just like color?
It's funny because like a lot of colorists and DPs and stuff, they have like, you know, they like going to museums and seeing art. I love movies.
Movies, okay.
Movies So I look at movies, first of all, because I love it, right?
So your medium's more like film. You like the film.
I love film. I love series too. I mean, I watch, hey, here's a plug for NBC. Blacklist, one of my favorites. I wasn't happy how it ended, but it was the best show. And I kept thinking, because I would watch it with my eldest son, he's 32, and he would go, hey, I'm going over to watch the episodes. And I would watch it and go, man, they actually make it look like film in a series, right?
Right.
They went like 10 seasons. They had 10 seasons. Anyway, series, movies, I was a kid that was allowed to watch everything. So at the age of 8, my parents took me to see The Exorcist.
Oh, geez.
Because it had Los Letreritos. We only watched the ones that had Los Letreritos.
That's an amazing kids movie right there.
So basically that girl spinning her head and I was going, what is this?
Wow. Yeah, well, it wasn't a scary movie, but my favorite movie growing up was Universal Soldier. With Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. Rated R movie, but my mom let me watch it and I loved it. I mean, they were like soldiers and stuff like that, so it was kind of like a military movie.
She was preparing you.
Yeah, so that was, I love Jean-Claude Van Damme when I was little. But.
So art, I love movies. Okay. And I obviously love what they do with the color. So that is our goal. When you see something really good, you go, how did they do that? And you grab something and you try to emulate it.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Favorite vacation spot?
Ooh, I love.
What was your best one?
Anything with a beach.
Oh, the beach?
Man,
really?
My wife against it. After 15 years, she told me, I hate the beach. My wife now, the third wife. Right? The third one. The one that I have the most kids. She, so it leans that way.
So anything with a beach. Yeah.
But with a beach, man, an island for me. Oh.
Have you gone to any specific one that you're...
St. Thomas, Magens Bay Beach.
Okay.
And it's a lagoon. And the water, you walk in, I mean, you can keep walking and it's straight down. Like,
wow.
I mean, clear, beautiful.
Wow, that's
beach.
Never been.
Never, yeah, that's awesome. Take a cruise.
Yeah.
They go over there.
Awesome. Okay, next question. So you talking about that you like film and all that. If you can work on any production, any film, it doesn't have to be NBC, just anywhere, what would you work on? If your dream production?
Like any film?
Anything, any project, any film, any series, what would you work on? If you can get your hands on it.
I would work with whoever is an ASC, DP, because the colorist and the DP are like, joined at the hip. So any ASC DP will make my job very easy.
So what are some of the productions that use that?
Well, I worked on Recount, right? So Recount was the whole Al Gore, it was an HBO, it was an HBO movie. And I worked on Marley and Me.
Nice.
And I worked on...
That movie made me cry. No lie. I was so sad.
I actually got a credit for it.
Really? You're on the credits?
I got the
That's
credit.
amazing.
Yeah. So I love those movies because the guys, they come with their idea and you're just helping it. You're just pushing it that last moment. It's not a lot of fixing is what I... So anybody that shoots that's an ASC, that is a person who is like American Society cinematographer.
I would say I would want to be on Star Wars.
Oh,
I would
love
to do Star Wars.
But in my experience, action movies, that's hard.
Oh, yeah?
That's difficult.
If action movie, I would say the John Wick series. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no, that's
I'm excited.
Amazing.
Well, NBC Plug 2 for Peacock. The new, what's the new show coming out? The Continental show coming out?
Right,
Yeah,
the prequel.
It's like the spin-off, yeah.
Is it the spin-off or the prequel?
I'm not sure. Well, I think it's like a spin-off show because it's not with Keanu Reeves, but it's about the Continental. Yeah.
No, right. You want to see the whole history of it. Yeah, I love the John Wicks.
Yeah,
AKA action movies are the best, but they're not the best to do color correction because you got to match all those scenes.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what they do.
Yeah,
the colorist who worked on that was spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last question. If you went into the military and you can have any military dream job, what would you do in the military?
Wow. I guess, being around film, right? There was a lot of film being shot like in World War II during
like
all these things.
A combat camera guy.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
like
that's exciting.
It is exciting. I mean, obviously with kids, you don't want to do that because
Right.
you know,
it's risky.
usually you don't like come back from those things, but to capture those images firsthand.
Yeah.
Like I think there was a scene in one of the World War II movies that I saw that, why are we taking pictures of like the whole Holocaust thing when they discovered it? And the guy says, because one day they're going to question it. And I was like, wow,
Makes sense.
That's heavy. Like that, you're capturing images that...
Of that moment.
Well, now you can doctor them. I mean, we've gotten to the place.
Right.
But there is like, you know, what is it? Record. There's a record of it.
I have a record of it, yeah.
And so I like that. That whole,
So
you know.
combat cameraman, wow. Yeah, that's...
I don't even know if that
imagine.
exists, but...
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah?
they are. Yeah. They document what happens in Iraq, Afghanistan, over there, you know, overseas and stuff like that. So
In another life.
in another life, yep. Wow, man. So, bueno, Rafi, it's been an honor and a pleasure talking with you today. I wish you all the best in your career. Hopefully, you get to retire soon, one day.
My honor.
And enjoy your tropical beach vacations and all that.
God willing.
Yeah. So, no, I just wanted to tell you know, from one veteran to another, thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
And with that, I wanted to gift you a little something from NBC, from us, from the Veterans Network. So I have an official Veterans Network dog tag for you.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
So that's for you.
That's awesome.
Just a little thank you for coming on the show and telling us your story. All right.
All right. Thank
I hope you enjoy. You can put it on your desk, wear it around.
Hang it from the monitor.
There you go. So thanks, Raph. Thanks for coming on. All right. You have a good one. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. As always, if you're a veteran, if you know of a veteran that you'd like to be featured on the show, reach out to us at meetthevets@NBCUni.com. Send us a message to connect. And as always, stay tuned for the next exciting veteran story right here on Meet the Vets. Take care, everybody.